Encontró carteles que eran progres en el Museo del Instituto Smithsoniano, que denigraban presidentes, y además se encontró con la sorpresa de que enseñaban que existía la supremacía blanca. Se lo hizo saber a uno de los mandamás del Instituto Smithsoniano y lo verás en este video. Un congresista estadounidense y su hijo visitaron un reconocido museo de Washington y en él se toparon con carteles progres. En este video quedó registrado como en este mes se le indagó del asunto al representante del instituto y este respondió. Se le indagó además si el Instituto Smithsoniano está afiliado a algún partido político, pues se aseveraba que quizás estaban haciendo propaganda a dicho partido político. Mira el video completo y comenta si crees que el tío solo quería salir del incómodo momento o no. Pero antes, si te gustan este tipo de videos, suscríbete, tenemos la meta de llegar a los 100,000 suscriptores. Empecemos.
Great lover of museums. Wherever I travel, I'll always go to a museum because I'm a lover of history. I'm a lover of the human experience. A few months ago, I took my 26-year-old son. We went. He's in NASCAR, and we went over to look at some of the exhibits there. And it's wonderful to see such joy that he had in a field that he's now fully immersed in. I will tell you, I loved my experience, but a couple things bothered me there. You said earlier that you don't believe partisanship and everything. Let me ask you again about partisanship. Where does that belong in our Smithsonian?
Smithsonian really is a place that shouldn't be partisan. It's a place that's driven by scholarship. That doesn't mean there aren't interpretations that people don't always agree with, but we're really driven by scholarship first and foremost.
What bothered me, what really actually just kind of stiffened me up because I didn't understand it, I didn't expect it from this institution, is that there was an exhibit on Nixon, and it wasn't a cartoon that was put up, it was something put up by Smithsonian staff that described nasty Nixon, boom, boom, boom. And then they said something also pejorative about Ronald Reagan on the written placard from the Smithsonian. And it took me back. That's not the Smithsonian I remember. And so, delving into this a little bit more, I found, contrary to what you said, a lot of partisanship. You guys have this wonderful exhibit praising the superstar, Dr. Fauci, because amidst a cacophony of misinformation and denial, the advice from Dr. Fauci, the nation's leading epidemiologist, rang true. Well, we found out since that time that Dr. Fauci lied. There's point-blank evidence that that he covered up the fact that the virus did come from Wuhan's lab. So I don't think he's a superstar. I don't think he was praised. He absolutely lied to the American public. And as a physician, he's damaged the reputation of the institutes of medicine across this country. So this was something taken by the left, praising somebody who actually lied to the country. And so I'm hopeful that there'll be some revision of what's gone back and actually truth be told that he was praised, but then he really was shown that he lied to further his own interest. Let me get something back to really. I want you to succeed because I think when everybody talks about the Smithsonian, they talk about greatness. This is all something when you live from a kid, when you make the visit to Washington, D.C., it's all about going to the Smithsonian. You get in the Air and Space Museum and you marvel at things. But I will tell you, when I saw this exhibit in 2020 that talked about whiteness in 2020. Here we are, we're trying to have a society that rather than having all these silos and every being told that you're in privilege, you're in this, you're in that, and trying to pull things together, partisan politics is now trying to divide us. And I'm going to go through this, and this is just baffling to me. This is in the Smithsonian, assumptions about white culture. And it says, rugged individualism, family structure, emphasis on scientific method, history, Protestant work ethic, religion, no tolerance from deviation from a single God concept. This is absolute propaganda. Why would anything like this be in the Smithsonian Institute?
Now, it's my understanding, what I think you're seeing, I can't really see it, is
You
a
should be
doc...
very well versed in this. You were the head of the Smithsonian at the
No,
time.
let me explain. What it is there was a document that is the whiteness document that was put up online that I took down immediately, because I think that the document itself was wrong and flawed. I do think, however, it's important for the Smithsonian to help the country grapple with questions of race. So I'm not going to run away from that. But I agree with you very much that that document is not the kind of document that should be at the Smithsonian, and if it's what I think it is, I pulled that down.
How does this help us with race?
That's why I pulled it
All it does is
down.
divide us. This is divisive language saying that white people, we don't tolerate any deviation except a single God concept.
Like I said,
How is that helpful? I don't understand that. I wish someone could explain that to me.
I pulled that down.
It's not white people, it's not black people, it's not Latino people. We're Americans. And this is really, it hurts my heart, because I think instead of us coming together in the last several years, we have formed more silos based upon the amount of melanin in our skin than have ever been seen in our history. And it is just, it is pathetic that the bastion of history in our nation, the Smithsonian Institution, is reinforcing those things. So I'm just sad about that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield back.
Como expuso el congresista, muchos niños, de hecho que también adultos, pero nos enfocaremos en los niños, se sienten atraídos por los museos y lo que estos muestran. ¿Crees que sea una estrategia progre el ideologizarlos también a través de los museos? La propaganda política en un museo podría presentar una visión sesgada de los eventos históricos o culturales. Esto podría influir en la manera en que los niños perciben ciertos temas, limitando su capacidad para formar opiniones independientes. Si los niños perciben que un museo está sesgado políticamente, podría disminuir su confianza en las instituciones culturales y educativas en general. Los museos generalmente se consideran instituciones culturales y educativas que tienen como objetivo preservar, exhibir y comunicar diversas formas de arte, historia, ciencia y cultura. La idea principal es proporcionar información objetiva y brindar a los visitantes la oportunidad de aprender y reflexionar sobre diferentes perspectivas. En general, la mayoría de los expertos en museología y ética consideran que los museos deben evitar hacer propaganda de ideologías políticas específicas. En lugar de promover un punto de vista particular, se espera que los museos presenten información de manera imparcial y permitan que los visitantes saquen sus propias conclusiones. La imparcialidad es fundamental para preservar la integridad del museo como un espacio educativo y cultural que sirve a la sociedad. Sin embargo, es importante señalar que la presentación de ciertos temas puede llevar a debates sobre la interpretación histórica y cultural. En estos casos, los museos deben esforzarse por ofrecer una representación equitativa de diferentes perspectivas y permitir que los visitantes desarrollen sus propias opiniones informadas. Los museos suelen ser más efectivos cuando se centran en la educación y la presentación imparcial de información en lugar de promover activamente ideologías políticas específicas. ¿Y tú, qué opinas? Déjamelo saber en los comentarios. Y aquí culmina este video. Si te gustó, dale like, comenta el video y compártelo. Gracias, hasta luego.